Juno.
Hi friends, welcome back to another Pick a Card Tarot reading. My name is Juno and this is Junodrome Intuitive Arts. So today we are going to be doing a Pick a Card reading asking, what does your higher self need you to know? The higher self is the being that is you, that exists across space and time, right? So if you imagine yourself in this larger cosmic sense, that is your higher self. What does that want to tell you? So take a look at these piles. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Once again, that's pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. If you need to pause this video, you can, or tune to the end of the video. At the end of the video, there's an extended card selection to figure out which pile is yours. Otherwise, if you go down to the description section of this video, you can find a link to each pile. That is where in the reading your reading will be. I'll catch you later in your reading. See you there. Bye. Hi there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the pile with this really cool terrarium. And it says on the back, embrace mystery. So I think that your higher self, honestly, I think your higher self is feeling a little bit trapped. And your higher self is coming in to let you know that maybe in order to free yourself a little bit from this terrarium that you might be stuck within, one of the biggest things you can do for yourself in this moment is to embrace the unknown a little bit. Embrace the mystery of life. You could be at a point in your life where you're doing only things that are familiar. And so your higher self is coming in to let you know now is an opportunity and a time to do something different, to face the unknown, to walk in a new direction. Even though that might seem scary, I think maybe you're feeling a little bit bored, or you're feeling like you're stuck in a routine or doing the same mundane thing over and over again. And so you're feeling ready to step off into the mystery a little bit more. So let's take a look at your oracle cards and the rest of your tarot to figure out exactly what's happening here. So we're going to take a look at your oracles from the Healing with the Angel deck first, and then we'll take a look at the rest. So you have healing. Interesting. Okay. And we've got retreat. Wow. Okay. So, this is interesting. I think as much as I do think that maybe a big part of you wants to be escaping with these oracles, there is a sense of understanding on how you got to this particular situation. I mean, it's a pretty clear message with these two that there is an important need to heal something. And in order to do that, you do need to retreat away from something. And maybe that's a part of where this terrarium bubble is coming in as well, is it might be an opportune moment for you to take some time aside to really work through and heal something difficult within you. That's super, super huge here. And I think that maybe a part of where this desire to continue doing the same familiar thing over and over again, and this fear of breaking out into something bigger and something new is coming from a past situation where you did put yourself through a lot of difficult situations, where you did have to deal with a lot of different things, and maybe it left you feeling a little bit, not broken inside, but a little bit wounded inside. And because of those emotional wounds, you're having difficulty breaking into the next new thing. And maybe there's a fear of really putting yourself out there because of that. With that terrarium, this terrarium is something that you've set up, this bubble. You've put yourself into a bubble for safety. And because of that, there's a difficulty in breaking out of it again. But I do think a part of your higher self is ready to move on and to move out of it. And so there needs to be some healing work done. And that's a big part of what your higher self is coming in to say, is like, it's time to heal some of these inner wounds that have been blocking you from being able to live the life of your dreams, that there's a little bit of something standing in your way based on what you've been through. And that emotional blockage and that emotional stuckness is keeping you from being able to actually move out of this bubble that you put yourself into. And in order to really open yourself out of that bubble, there's a need to, it's counterintuitive, but there is a need to retreat, but it's different. Like, this isn't, I think that there's been a lot of self-isolation going on based on this energy. And so this retreat that is needed isn't necessarily something that's should be done alone. It's almost like this is retreat in the reverse. I feel like you have been self-isolating too much, and a part of the healing journey that you're on, yes, I think maybe that retreat was necessary at first, but it's overstayed its welcome. And because I just feel like my intuition at the very beginning of this reading was showing me that you're ready to escape the terrarium, that the terrarium is a little bit closing you in and keeping you feeling stuck. And so in order to really break out of that, there is a need to open yourself up to something different and something new. So let's take a look at some tarot to get a better picture of what's happening. We've got the Queen of Swords, Six of Wands. That's the victory card. That's excellent. Excellent. Love to see that one. And we have the High Priestess. Yeah, wow. All right. So, your higher self is definitely here with us in this reading, and is ready to communicate with you on a deeper level. With that High Priestess card, it's almost like all that you are is ready to be in tune and in touch with you in your conscious self in this moment. And so there is a need to find a way to develop this connection further. This is about learning how to do the things and see the things and walk through life in such a way where you are in tune with your full self, where you are doing what you want to be doing, where you are following the path you want to follow, where you are listening to those inner voices and you're doing it. You're not afraid, you're not hiding, you're unquestionably who you are without anything holding you back or keeping you down. That's a part of where you're going here. And with that victory card, this is a part of what your soul is yearning for right now. And I think that it is well within the realm of possibility for you, which is huge. So it's not like this is coming out of nowhere. This is truly the point in life that you're at right now. So embrace that. Because of that, with that the Queen of Swords here, there is a need to cut some things out. I think it's about thinking, though. There needs to be a period where you cut out the fear of, oh, well, what if I put myself out there and it doesn't work? Or what if I end up in the same kind of thing again? And the thing is, yeah, mistakes happen, and yeah, you never know what will happen when you put yourself out there. That's true. But you'll also never get to the places you want to go if you don't put yourself out there either. And that is really, really huge. And I think that that's a part of what your higher self really wants to tell you right now is, by being too afraid to get out into the world, you're limiting your possibilities in a way that is soul stifling. And that stifling energy is really present in this reading. And, if you never try, you'll never succeed, right? Whereas, yes, if you try, maybe you'll succeed, maybe you won't. And for some of us, subconsciously, it's easier to just never get there because whatever. But honestly, that's not what your soul wants, right? Your soul is ready to get out there again. And so there does need to be healing of the wounds as well. And that's kind of what we were talking about. So, if you do angel work, you absolutely can. Like, the Archangel Raphael is here to work with you if you choose to with this card. This is just an angel deck. You don't have to. It's just an option. But, so you can open yourself up to that energy should you choose to. Now, we've got more tarot, so let's keep looking. Wow, you have the Six of Wands again. So victory is pretty much assured for you. So I think that's just the biggest part of this reading is like, get yourself out there again. It's time to put yourself out there. It's time to really work on you and be in tune with yourself. We've got the Lover's card, which also can talk about love, right? But it can also talk about being in tune with oneself on a deeper level. And that, with that High Priestess card and this, connecting in with your higher self here, it's you're all that you are, the being of you that exists beyond, this moment here. it really does want to connect in with you. Eight of Swords, but you're feeling a bit stuck. You're feeling a bit like you can't do that for whatever reason. But honestly, that's all in your mind. That's all in your head. The Swords is a mind card. It's a mind situation. And so it's easy to tell the self, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this isn't for me. Oh, well, I'm not capable, blah, 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 right? But those are just stories at the end of the day. And it's important for you to remember that you are just as capable as anyone else on this planet. And if someone else is able to do it, then you can do it too, right? You don't have to let somebody else, especially if you're going through any kind of comparison energy. I'm just thinking that right now. You don't have to compare yourself to others, first of all. Like, we're all on our own life path here. But second of all, if somebody else is achieving something, that is proof that you are also capable of achieving it, right? You can use someone else's success as an excuse to get out there and do what it is you want to do for yourself. As much as that seems silly sometimes, it's the truth. So there really is a necessary point for you within this reading to put yourself out there, to get out there and do and try to make things happen, because this is your moment. It's coming. Your moment is here for you in this moment here. And so it's time, it's time. 3 more cards. We got the Three of Cups. We've got the Moon. Yeah, I feel the Moon in this reading. Definitely. And we have the Mother of Wands, which is the Queen of Wands in most decks. So you have 2 queens, first of all. And I did think this queen earlier when I was saying swords. So I just think you're ready to be inspired again. And I think that what's blocking your inspiration is isolation. Big time. And so with that Three of Cups, I mean, it is time to get out there and celebrate with friends. So how can you get out there and put yourself out there in life and make some friends and connect in with new people and have some new voices come into your life? It's like you're feeling drawn to the need to have new voices come in. And so this is a time and a moment for that. How can you allow in new voices into your life again and celebrate with others? If you have some friends, call them up. Now's the time to get out there and put yourself out there, because you might, just by getting out into the world, you might open yourself up to this spontaneous energy that will then open things up for you. Because a lot of times, sometimes things stumble into our lives in ways that we don't understand, but we need to be putting ourselves out there and getting out into the world in order for that to work or to happen. And sometimes just isolating at home, you're not able to let in those opportunities in a way that you would be able to if you really went out there and did stuff and put yourself out there in that kind of way. And so particularly with the Mother of Wands here, she is a master manifester. She makes her dreams come true. Anything that she sets her heart to, she achieves. And so you can do that too with this. You don't have to be stuck anymore. You can start to really get out there and achieve those things. But it is going to take getting yourself out there and getting outside and putting it out there. And so if you are still stuck in this retreat energy, do what you can to heal the thing that's keeping you from walking outside, because it's going to be important for you. And with the Moon, you don't need to have all the answers right now either. And I think that that's really huge. Sometimes we feel like we have to have everything figured out before we take the first step, and that's just not the case. And with the Moon card, you won't see everything up ahead, but you'll at least see the next few steps in front of you. And so all it takes is to take those few steps. So just take the next few steps ahead, and then things will become more clear the more forward you move. And that's not always easy to do, but it is what's being called for right now by your higher self. So it's worth opening yourself up to that idea that you are capable, that you can make things happen, that you can put yourself out there, and that life can work out for you. So anyway, pile number 1, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that this reading resonates. Let me know in the comments what you think either way. I love hearing from everybody. If you would like a private reading from me, they are available on my website. You can find information on that at www.junojerome.com. I would love to connect with you there. So if you want a private reading, they are available now. I do both face-to-face readings over Google Meet as well as pre-recorded readings. The pre-recorded readings can be a little bit cheaper if that's the kind of thing you want, but if you want a face-to-face reading, I do have those available as well. Please like this video. Those likes get this video out to more people. Go ahead and leave a comment. I love hearing from everybody. The more that we communicate with each other, the more that the algorithm thinks people should see this. Also, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'm so thankful to all of my subscribers here, and I don't think I've missed anything else, so I will catch you in the next reading. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye. Hi there, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the pile with this really awesome telescope card. This is going to be readings from your higher self. What does your higher self need you to know? This says use a telescope. Interesting. So when do we use a telescope in life? We use it to see things that are really, really big and really, really far away. We use it to see them up close. So your higher self, I think, is trying to explain a complex issue to you. And using a telescope, your higher self is gonna be using a telescope within this reading to get a better picture for us here of what's happening in your life. I think that there's some bigger situations happening in your life right now. There's bigger things going on than you realize. So if there's any kind of problems you're going through or any kind of challenges or whatever situation you find yourself in right now, there's far more at play here on a cosmic level than maybe you're picturing, you're gathering with your conscious mind. And so your higher self is coming in here to give a better idea and a better picture of what's happening to help you contextualize your situation right now. So let's take a look at the oracle cards to get a better picture of what this is about. So we're going to start with oracle cards from the Healing with the Angel deck, and you have 3 of those cards. So let's get through them. Just for the themes of the reading, we have freedom, power, and body care. Interesting. Body care. All right. So whatever's going on right now, particularly with your body, if you're finding yourself going through any kind of body stuff, that doesn't have to be anything crazy particularly. But, if you are going through any kind of health situation right now, there's a sense of that being on a larger level too, of almost like a cosmic level. Although, take this as it resonates. This won't be for everybody, but for some people there is a need with that use a telescope and the body care. If you're having weird body things, there might be a need to get some kind of test or something like that, or do some kind of body test, right? A health treatment, health screenings, those kinds of things, using health equipment to take care of the body. That's a special message for some people. That's not for everybody. So take that as it resonates. You'll already know if you're in that kind of situation. If you're not, then don't pay that any mind. But, in general, though, I think that a part of what's going on with your body right now, there is a need to take care of your body a little bit extra. And if you think about it, like, the body is our vessel through life. And so there is an importance and a need to make sure that you're treating your body in the best way, right? And that your power as a person can come from a connection, mind, body, and soul. And so there's a little bit of that going on here, but also with the power and the freedom, whatever situation you're going through in your life right now, whatever is happening, it's happening on this level of real connection to your personal power and freedom. And so I think that there is a need in this moment to prioritize your personal freedom right now, and to make sure that you're doing that a part of your inner power and inner strength is coming in from this place of needing to be free, to make sure that you're moving through life in a free way, so that you're not feeling dominated or controlled, that you're feeling free to be who you are and to do what you need to do through life. Interesting. So let's take a look at some of the tarot to get a better picture of what this is talking about. We have the Empress, the Devil. Okay, yeah, I can kind of feel that here. And the Hierophant. Interesting. Well, this is a bit of a tricky reading for me for some reason, but I do think that with that Empress card and that body care, whatever you're going through in life right now, this is a moment where actually some people might be really actually pregnant. Not everybody, obviously, but if you are, that makes sense. And with the Empress, though, usually it's about birthing something into the world. It's about birthing something, can be creative. Usually she's one of the most creative cards in the whole deck. So she's able to channel her creativity into something specific. Usually it can talk about a project, something that you're working on to bring into the world. Now, with the Devil there, though, it's almost like I'm feeling like maybe some people here are getting blocked creatively. Maybe you're feeling a lack of inspiration lately, or you're feeling like you don't know how to implement some of your ideas into the world. And so with the Devil, it's almost like you're falling into bad habits and doing the wrong things, quote unquote, wrong. I don't mean wrong in the larger sense. I just mean like you're doing the things that aren't getting you where you want to go. You're doing things that are perpetuating feeling like you're not able to make things happen. And so with that together, though, with the Hierophant, you've got a little bit of advice coming in here, especially with that freedom and that power card. In order to get to the places you want to go, there is a bit of a need to, and this is at odds with that freedom card a little bit, there's a need to play the game the way that other people are, if that makes sense. Like with the Hierophant, you can talk about tradition. You can talk about the wisdom and knowledge gained from the past, from history, from doing the same thing the same way for a long time, for hundreds of years of people doing something in the same kind of ritualistic way to bring about the same outcome. There's almost a need for you to make sure that you are aligning yourself with doing things in that manner a little bit of the traditional way, because maybe you've been completely pushing yourself into doing things from a way that isn't necessarily, you could be experimenting, you could be trying to make things happen by trying all the new things and doing all the new ways. And a part of that, I think, has gotten you far enough. But there is a bit of a need, to connect into your personal power, because of your desire for freedom. I think that's why you've been just kind of pushing along from a very free-spirited kind of way, which I think is important for you and I think is necessary. But I think in order to grow to the next step on whatever it is you're trying to do or whatever it is you're working on, there is a need to follow a little bit of the tradition of how people do this thing or get these things done or find results. And so, a part of that could just mean doing some research on that, right? So asking other people who have gotten to the places you'd like to go, how did they do it? Doing some research on how people who've been successful in this place or on this journey that you might be on yourself, how do they get there? What is it that they've done? What are some positive practices that can be taken and steps that can be maneuvered, that you can do, that other people have done, that will help you along your journey? And how can you implement those things into your life in a way that makes sense? I think the more that you start asking yourself those questions, on the larger level, I think the more that you're going to be finding yourself aligning with this place, because it's here for you. You have the power within you to do this. So let's take a look at some more tarot. We have a lot more tarot cards. Three of Pentacles, Queen of Wands again. Nope, we didn't have her yet, but she makes a lot of sense in this particular reading. Death card. Yeah, wow, okay. Two of Cups and Four of Swords. Okay, so, you are being given some more ideas and tools to move yourself forward. With the Death card here, I do think that there is an ending in your life right now that's a lot bigger. And so I was feeling larger cosmic messages at the very beginning of this reading. And so I do think that that's important to take in mind. I think that you are at the end point of a certain phase of existence for yourself, and you're moving into a new place here. So that's really important to keep in mind. But where you are, this next chapter that you're moving into is one where you're building the foundations and the steps for the future. And that's really, really important. So, don't push yourself too hard. I think with that body care and now with the rest card, those two together, I think that you You may have the desire to push yourself to create things, to move through things, to make things happen. And that pushing, might be a little bit too hard. It might be a little bit too much. And so keep that in mind. I think just like don't push yourself too hard here because that's going to push you over the edge a little bit. So take your time and pace yourself with whatever it is you're working on, because it's really powerful, whatever it is. Now, with that Queen of Wands, I mean, you really are a master manifester. She's able to make anything happen. So whatever you set your heart to, whatever it is you want to work on here, whatever it is you're trying to bring into the world, and I think that a lot of people watching this are trying to bring something into the world, whatever that may be, take your time with it, and have faith that it's going to work out. I think that's the biggest thing. Just know deep down it's going to work, because it is. And I think the more that you have the faith that it can work out, the more that it's going to bring you in the directions you want to go in. It's going to make things happen for you in the way that you want to. And I think by the end of things, you're going to be feeling really solid and really good about yourself and about where you're at because of that. But it's just going to take you pacing yourself and taking your time and not rushing and not pushing too hard, because if you do those things, I think you might burn out, and then you might have to start over, and whereas you can keep the energy running a little bit easier, and you won't stall out in that way. With the Two of Cups, some people here, this is about romantic partnership with someone else. Like, you definitely have the ability to do that and connect in, but that's just a small message. I think for most people here, this is about connecting in with the self on a deeper level. But with that Three of Pentacles as well, with that Two of Cups, I do think there's a real importance of finding like-minded people as well, and as you're building the foundations for this thing, to find other people who are doing something similar and to build community around this thing. Because in order to really bring it into the world and make things happen, there's a real need to have community around it as well. And you're being encouraged to build and create as much community as you can for yourself in this area in order to make this thing happen, because it's going to take a village, right? It's not going to be something that you do on your own alone. You're going to need help. You're going to need community. You're going to need people who are doing something similar in order to bring it into reality. So be open-minded to that, because I think the more that you're open-minded to bringing in more people, the more that things end up happening in the long run that is really powerful and really wonderful. Okay, we got more tarot, so let's get into it. Hanged Man, the World. Yeah, you really are moving up and moving on to the next phase here. I think that's huge. You're really moving into the next chapter, the Fool, and it's something that's brand new. It's like finally letting you go of this Hanged Man stuck period and moving into a place of real possibility again. Son of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands in most decks. Yeah, there is movement towards inspiration and creativity in this reading. This is really like creating things and making things happen. Finally, the Daughter of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. So, the biggest thing that you can do for yourself in this reading is to change your mindset a little bit, to learn how to think about things and look at things from a different perspective, because that perspective shift is going to be the catalyst here to help catapult you into the next level of whatever it is you're working on. Is to change your mind, is to think about things differently, is to make sure that you're open-minded enough in life that you're not so steadfast in doing something in a certain way or pushing yourself in a certain manner that you're not actually able to make things happen in a positive way, right? So don't be so stuck-minded and close-minded about doing things in a certain manner. Be open to learning how to do things differently. Be open to asking questions from other people. Be open to learning how to change your ways and do things differently, because the more that you can be open-minded in that way, the more that you'll be able to move in a positive direction that actually is able to make things happen and not keeping you stuck in any one way or another. Now, with that, Son of Wands, you really are creating this powerful moment for yourself where you're going to be able to achieve these things. But be open-minded to being at the beginning stages of this too, because this is building foundations. The Fool means beginnings. So yes, you have completed a cycle, but now you're at the beginning of a new cycle. So keep that in mind. Don't let that hold you back or make you feel stuck, because ultimately that's a good place to be at the beginning of something, because it means you have open possibility and you have open connection and ability to move forward from a place of feeling confident in yourself and in your abilities, and like you can actually make things happen. So anyway, pile number 2, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that that's helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like a private reading from me, I am offering them now on my website. You can find out information at www.junodrome.com. I have a few different options. I have both face-to-face video chat readings as well as pre-recorded readings. So whichever you prefer, there are different price points there. You can find all that on the website. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Your subscriptions really do help this channel grow, and I appreciate everybody who's done so. If you also, you could leave a comment on this video. The more that we talk with each other, the more that the algorithm thinks that other people should see this. So go ahead and leave a comment. I'll leave one back, even if we just exchange emojis. It's a really good place to be. Finally, consider liking this video as well. Those likes surprisingly really do help as well. So if you could like this video, I would be very appreciative of that. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will catch you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the pile with this awesome sunrise card. And this is going to be messages from your higher self. So what does your higher self want you to know in this moment? For you, with this dawn card, it says, stay up till dawn. So I think that your higher self is coming in with encouraging messages to let you know that dawn is coming, that the dawn is coming, and it's asking you to stay up till dawn. So to stick with it, stick with wherever you're at, whatever part of your journey you're on right now. And, take this as it resonates for you. But I think for a lot of people here, you may have gone through a lot of difficult things, and that might be still where you're at. And so your higher self wants you to stick with your journey of healing. They want you to stick with your journey of growth and of moving up and moving on into the next phase, because the next cycle is coming, that the dawn is coming, and the more that you stick with it, or the dawn is here for you, that a new day is dawning for you in this moment. And this is a really wonderful time for you to be able to tune into the beauty that exists within you and know in the deep depths of your heart that a new day is dawning, that a new time is coming, that beauty is coming into the future for you. So stick with it. Stick with it until you see the new day dawning, because it's coming for you. And so your higher self is here to encourage you and give you that bright opening into that moment to let you know that a new day is here for you, that it is possible to see the light again, and the light is shining into your life in this moment. And so your higher self wants to help bring the light into your life a little bit more. So let's take a look at the oracle cards to get a better picture of the themes here, and we'll move from there. So our first oracle cards come from the Healing with the Angels oracle deck, and we have signs and we have children. Interesting. So, with that card, your higher self is trying, this reading is a sign for you, especially with that sunrise coming in here. It really is. It's asking you to watch the signs and synchronicities going on in your life surrounding you to open you up to this idea that beauty is possible still, that love is possible in your life, that the light of existence is shining for you. So just keep that in mind. And maybe you can start to see some of the little things in life surrounding you in the day-to-day as you walk through the universe, as you walk through the world each day. You can start to look for the little signs that pop up to remind you that love is here, that beauty is possible, that synchronicities are available to you in a loving way that could be used to help reinforce within the idea that the universe is looking out for you, that love is here for you, that joy is a possible thing to connect to on a day-to-day basis, that you have access to that. And it could be every time you see a flower, or every time you see a butterfly, or when you see little bees, or whatever it is for you, right? Whatever sign or symbol it is. With that signs card, I do think that there's a request from your higher self to learn how to have a communication, either with your higher self in this way, or with guides, or spirits, or entities of love and joy, or whatever you want to connect to. I mean, it's up to you. It's life. Just signs from the universe, right? Whatever it is, you can look for those synchronicities in your life, and those can be there to reinforce this inner strength and resilience within you, that the more that you see these signs and connections, for me, it is birds. I'm just looking right now at a book that says birds across the room for me, and that's exactly right. When I see a bird swooping down, that to me is a sign from the universe a little bit that there's connection, that there's more than me going on here, and that my own day-to-day little mind stuff on the day-to-day, doesn't have to be the end all be all of the universe, and that I can use that symbol as a synchronicity for myself to break me out of my rote thinking that comes in, that keeps me from seeing the true beauty of the universe, right? So it's a connection that I've learned how to develop for myself, that you're being encouraged to learn for yourself. It's just you and the universe. And so you don't need to, you can make whatever words or signs and symbols and connections you want to. It's up to you. Now, with the children card here as well, it's interesting. For some people, there's children in your own life that it's worth connecting to. But ultimately, this can be talking about the inner child as well. It's having a more childlike perspective of life. And we can get so easily blocked into nihilistic thinking. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's really, really, really easy to think that the world is a bleak place and everything's terrible. And because we have good reason to think so. I mean, there's a lot of not great things happening in the moment right now on this planet. And so if you're stuck in that thinking, I mean, it's understandable. But with the childlike thoughts coming in too, it's just important to remember that that's not the only way to see the world. And that's not the only way to see life. And that the more that we get stuck thinking that everything is terrible forever, always, the more that we can perpetuate that we bring in suffering upon ourselves when maybe we don't need to. And so, a childlike wonder of life, being in awe and curious of those things around us, having that kind of perspective is actually a form of resilience, and I think a form of resistance personally. Resistance against the fear machine that is trying to keep us under control, right? That when you have a curiosity and childlike wonder of the world around you without letting somebody else tell you that everything is terrible, that is a form of resistance, in my opinion. And that is the kind of resistance that I lead against the mundane and the powerful. Personally, I think the best way to do that is just through love and through connection in that way, because that's an inner fire that burns within me that no one can take from me, and I will never let anyone take that from me. And I've built it myself, and in the face of horror and suffering in this world, and I will continue and maintain that, and that is my own inner strength and resilience. But you have that within you as well, and that is a tool that you can develop against the horrors of this planet. You can develop that resilience and that tool. And the thing is, we get taught that kind of those kinds of feelings are either too weak or too, stupid or naive or whatever. But actually, I do think that it's a form of resilience, of inner resilience, and a form of resistance against those types of things, personally. So let's see. We got lots of tarot for you. So what does the tarot want to tell you right now from your higher self? We have the sun, yeah, and don't we know it? This is a bright, shining moment for you here, and the sun really is trying to come into your life right now. We have the Four of Wands, homecoming card, and there's that bird again. Look, there's some bird symbolism. Birds, lots of birds. Maybe birds are one of your signs too. Maybe birds are one of yours too. You never know. Ten of Swords, yeah, I do think that's a part of where this is coming from, is trying to help you get out of this feeling of burnout and catastrophizing. King of Wands, you're a magical, mystical person at the end of the day. Whether you believe it or not, whether you see it or not, it's true. With that King of Wands, you are deeply mystical and magical, and you can move through this world however you choose to. You can make anything happen, and your higher self wants you to open your perspective to that again. I think probably at one point you did feel the open possibility. You did feel as though you could move through life in that way, where you are creating the conditions upon life where you're making things happen and you're going out there and you're doing things and achieving your dreams. I think at one point maybe you felt that to be completely and 100% possible. And then I think just along the way, life has a way of nicking us and picking at us and pushing us down and kicking us to the point where we stop believing, where we falter in that a little bit. And so this reading is coming in with your higher self to help you come home to yourself, to come home to the idea that actually, regardless of what the external tells you, regardless of what the world around is saying, you still have power. You still have possibility. You still have the ability to make things happen and to bring bright, shining light into your life, that the sun is here for you when you need it. It's just a matter of tuning in. The sun isn't going anywhere, right? The sun is going to burn long, long, long after all of us are gone. The sun will continue, probably long after human beings are done. Hopefully we'll evolve into something else and maybe live somewhere else or maybe do something else. But people, as they exist in this moment, will definitely not exist by the end of the sun's lifetime. I mean, that's pretty much guaranteed. So, that's something to think about. The sun is a consistent thing up there. And yeah, of course there are cloudy days, right? But when it's cloudy, we don't pretend and think that the sun is dead, right? When it's nighttime, we don't cry thinking that the sun is gone forever, right? Because we know that the earth was just spinning around a circle, and tomorrow will come. The earth will spin back around and the sun will come out, right? So the dawn is coming, and this reading is asking you to stay up till dawn. With that 10 of Swords, I do think you've been through it. That can talk about going through a lot of really rough stuff. And so if you're feeling a little bit shell-shocked because of life, just know that's understandable. Just know that many of us do go through those feelings, and there is a way to have those feelings and come out the other side too. As someone who's done that kind of work, it doesn't feel like it when you're stuck in there. But, I think that's the other thing too, is sometimes we can reach low points in life that sort of, they convince us that that's all that is, right? Sometimes those low points convince us that there's nothing else existing in life except the lows, and that it's almost as if the existence of a low is proof that nothing can ever be good again, right? But that's not true. I think that both things actually exist simultaneously, and we can't deny one without having the other. I think that's a non-dualistic take on life, right? Where light and dark exist as continuums along the same axis, right? That you can't have a coin with only heads. It has to have a tails, right? There are two sides to a coin, and in the same way, there is light and there is dark, there is up and there is down, there is day and there is night, and so that's just important to keep in mind. If you're moving out, the only guarantee we have in life is that things will change. So you're never going to stay in the same thing the whole time. It's going to move out of it. So, keep that in mind. We got a lot more tarot. We got the star. I feel the star. This is light after darkness, which is that dawning card. It's the dawning of the sun. It's the star. It's here for you in this moment. Father of Cups is the King of Cups. He's the most compassionate card in the entire deck. And so you really are being encouraged to share this beautiful compassion with yourself. It's going to help you feel a lot better, I think. With the Four of Wands, there it is again. You have that twice here. So that is a card of homecoming, coming home to the self, which is what you're being encouraged to do. Really come home to yourself in this moment and share that love and that joy and that compassion with yourself, because it's time for that. Finally, we have the Daughter of Wands, which is we got two here. Daughter of Wands, Page of Wands in most decks. That's learning how to make your dreams come true, and it's being a student in that. So, acknowledging that you don't know exactly how to do that yet, and that's okay, and that you can take the time to learn how to do that. This particular card, I don't think wants to be in there. I think that was a mistake. So with those four, the star, this is a bright, shining new day. This is about bringing in love and connection and joy into your life after dealing with difficult things. And it's coming home to yourself. And that home is coming from a place of deep love and compassion for self. We have the Hierophant. We have the King of Wands. So more wands here. We have him twice. Okay, great. So two two double cards is great. And the Queen of Cups, who's very much like the King of Cups too. They're both very similar cards. So ultimately, pile number 3, I think that your higher self wants you to share more love with yourself. I think that's huge. I think that maybe you've been denying yourself love with that inner child as well. It's like you kind of have to treat yourself like a little kid sometimes. And it's really important to do that because that inner child is still there. It never quite goes away. It's still a part of you forever. And so, how would you speak to a child? How would you be compassionate with a child and try to teach the child, how to live in such a way that they're bringing love into their lives? How would you decide to do that? If you had to talk to a kid about stuff, how would you do that? And that's how you need to talk to yourself. That's the kind of level of compassion and love and understanding that's required of sharing with yourself. Because if you don't do that, then you get stuck in perpetuating negativity within your life because on a deeper level you're always going to be that child. And so if you can't share that kind of love and compassion with yourself, then it's not going to reach deep inside. It's a denial. And I think that you have been denying yourself that. And the Hierophant, society kind of teaches us how to do that. I think a part of growing up in the world is learning how to regulate yourself in such a way that you can exist within society. And sometimes that's, necessary to be a functioning adult, but sometimes that leaves us feeling a little bit hollowed out and a little bit broken as adults. And so as adults, we have to kind of like reparent our inner child sometimes and rekindle this fierce love and curiosity within us. And the more that you can do that, the more that you can break out of these feelings of nihilism and create for yourself a feeling of joy and possibility at the love that exists around you. And I think as soon as you start to do that kind of work, you're going to be feeling so inspired again because that magic and that fire is here. With a double King of Wands, it's like you're a powerful manifester, and the work that you do on yourself catapults outside of you on such a larger level that you can actually create some really powerful and profound change in the universe. And so the more that you can connect into yourself and bring that out of you, the more that you can create this powerful force that reverberates outside of yourself and connects to everybody around you. So anyway, pile number 3, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that was a helpful reading. Let me know in the comments what you think either way. I love hearing from everybody. Even just a few emojis, I'll give some back. Those comments really do help the channel and the video grow. If you would like a private reading from me, I am offering them again on the website. You can find out information by going to www.junodrome.com. I'm offering a couple different forms right now, either a face-to-face video chat reading through Google Meet or a pre-recorded video reading where you ask me what you want to know and then I'll record the reading on my own and send you the video. So both options are available on there. You can find that at junodrome.com. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Your subscription really does help this channel grow as well, and I deeply appreciate everybody who's been subscribing so far. And give this video a like. Those likes really do help too. And if you want to catch everything from me, you can click on the bell, right? Or whatever. You get notifications from me. So that's it from Junodrome, Intuitive Arts this week. Thank you so much. I will catch you in the next reading. Bye-bye.